There we go. Okay, I have my mouse back. We are all good to go. Turn 1 Eureka. Solid start by Nobe72 on the bottom here. Turn 1 Eureka, for a long time was my favorite turn 1 card. I think you can maybe we can argue for a couple other ones, but for sure it is a solid start. So I didn't quite see what was archived there. Well, they were random, but I didn't see what was archived. So we'll get into that in a second. We're looking at Big Door here with a Ronnie hand. Usually Ronnie doesn't get a ton of value on second player turn 1, but the Eureka gives value here. We got Ronnie. It looks like we got it's a Sneck Lifter, I think. Interesting. So he opts to hold. Let me make sure I have the right deck. Yeah, he opts to hold Sneck Lifter here. I'm looking at Nobe's deck list to see if there are any major artifacts. There's a Golden Spiral. Okay, so it's a Spiral deck with Spartosaur and some other things. So, and he's got Key Frog. Oh, this deck is kind of crazy. This is fun. All right, so he played Fangtooth, kills the Ronnie. So, okay, that's why he held Sneck Lifter there. He's playing around Golden Spiral. He could Sneck Lifter the Cavern, but that obviously has no effect. No effect pragmatically on the board state. So he's looking at a 2/2/2 hand. So he's going to go back into Shadows and Hawk and just hold Sneck Lifter, I'm guessing. He's really, he is chaining himself very hard to guard against the possibility of Spiral, to the point where he's now had 2 turns where he's basically accepted a chain as a result. And we have a double enhanced Glimmer. That's crazy, to get the Golden Spiral back. Sorry, to get the Fangtooth Cavern back. And now we have a Witch of the Eye. This deck is insane. It has Punk in the deck. So what is Witch of the Eye? What are they pulling? Did they pull anything? I didn't see. They could have pulled an off-house card, so they could have pulled Eureka. That's probably what happened, although I missed that at the very bottom. If someone in chat saw that, let me know. But it looked like they might have pulled Eureka here. I'm sorry, I'm behind on updating things. Let me update the Amber counts in real time. This looks like 6, 7. Cool. Positron Bolt kills the Witch. One of the 2 Positron Bolts, and then we're in Eddie. I didn't see what was archived there, but Eddie archives a card, so the keys now cost 7. So Nobe is down to 0 Amber, but does forge a key. I think the red key is this. Nope, that's not the red key. That's not the red key. There's the red key. And here's Eureka again. So, okay, I was right. So we pulled Eureka with a Witch of the Eye. That's a good pull, especially if you have other Logos cards in hand that you think you might be able to play if they're not randomly chosen. So he's shuffling, and he's going to randomly choose 2 cards to... Oh, okay, so he did not... Wild Wormhole was not chosen, so we got on the Eureka randomly. So we got, I think it's a Halcor? What is that? Halcor, yeah. An enhanced Halcor, Fangtooth Cavern to kill Eddie. This is a really fascinating deck that he's playing with, but obviously it's very, very much Rush. And he's got other answers, like he's got an Imperial Forge to cheat out the win, maybe. He's got Graft, Code Monkey. Yeah, this is just all sorts of fun stuff in this deck. Okay. So, Big Door again here with the 2/2/2 situation, caused in no small part by the fact that he's been holding Sneck Lifter for 3 turns now. He's called Shadows twice and not played Sneck Lifter, so he's chaining himself. I certainly understand the theory behind that, because you have a deck that you are facing that you know has Spiral and some other Saurian stuff in it. But I think at this point, you're far enough behind in the race that you cannot afford to hold Sneck Lifter anymore, right? Because he wouldn't even be able to use Spiral the turn it comes into play unless he has gimmicks. Does he have gimmicks? I don't think so. I don't think he has a way to use Spiral in the turn it comes into play. So, anyway, here we go with Saurian. What is that thing? Plays 2 Aquila the Lone Heroes. He's got a Citizen Shrix. Exalts, steals 1. So he's now up to 7. Let me keep track, sorry. Learning this interface, I will do this better in the next round, but he's at 7 amber. Puts Kalifkian Ideal on Shrix, which allows him to use the amber on Shrix to forge. Oh, and then he Epic Poem Shrix. This deck is crazy. This is definitely a very interesting. This is a fascinating Vaultmaster deck. This does stuff for sure. So he Epic Poemed. Thank you, Logos. Yeah, all credit to Andrew who set up the stream overlay. And so you can I will update it as best I can. This is the first round I've ever been using this, so while I think it's very cool, I don't know. Oh, he Imperial Forged! Oh my god. Oh, this is so gross. How much did he spend? He's down to 3. But now he flips Yellow Key. That's not Yellow Key, that's Yellow Key. That combo, Epic Poem, Imperial Forge, Shrix, Kalifkian Ideal. He opts to kill Shrix after having spent all the amber on Shrix. Oh, and interesting. Okay, this is a fun combo. So you see Cavern at the bottom. So Fangtooth Cavern kills the lowest power in play, and if it's tied, you get a choice. But he also played, so that's what Cavern does, but he played Spartosaur. So basically he can use Cavern as a combo piece to kill a creature that's not Saurian if Spartosaur's on the board, which will wipe the board of anything but dinos. And since his opponent doesn't have dinos in this matchup, that's pretty crazy. So he ended up in that particular situation having to kill his own Halakor. But in the long term, that is a wild combo. This is pretty impressive. Okay, so he's going to try to burst back with Star Alliance, which is not loading. Sorry about that. So not loading up here, but basically he played Morpheus into Kirby, so he can now play 2 non-Star Alliance actions or artifacts. Does he have 2? I think he's got 2 Logos things, so he's going to dump the hand, which is good. He's now at check at 6 without doing anything. But he has Platform. So Morpheus with Platform and Kirby is pretty nuts if you have enough off-house actions. So he's going to Positron Bolt here. That's one of the Kirby hits. 3, 2, 1. Now the dangerous thing is he obviously does not want to kill Spartosaur. That would wipe his board. So he's going to Platform back Kirby. And he's going to... Okay, this is interesting. So he platforms back Kirby, in theory, to be able to play 2 actions next turn. So he's basically guaranteeing that he's going Star Alliance next turn. Or at least that's the thing. That's how he's presenting the board state. Sorry, this should be 7. Did we... 7, there we go. So I don't have a Star Alliance house for some reason. All right, we'll figure that out. Code Monkey to get Amber. So he's just bursting now because he has 5 Amber. And he's going to be on check for 3rd key, assuming he does anything. Eddie, archive a card. This Vaultmaster deck is wild. I love it. Phase shift into Soldiers to Flowers. Well, that definitely is going to get him enough Amber to be on check. The question is, does Big Door have any answer whatsoever in his hand? So he's going to purge out 5 untamed creatures. That is nuts. So he's got 11. That is crazy. Well, this is definitely a deck that I would anticipate potentially seeing again in our coverage either today or tomorrow. For those of you who are just joining us who don't know what's going on in terms of coverage of this Vault Tour, we have simulcast vaults. Simulcast of this tour, I'm doing the Archon and Andrew stream currently, and TTR is over on their stream doing Alliance. So you can choose what you'd like to watch, which I think is great. More coverage, the better, is what I always say. So he's playing Desania. Desania is pretty good. Pretty good here. He gets to bin all of the cards in his opponent's archive. He gets Cutthroat, so he steals 2. He plays Bibliophile, and I think he's just dead here, right? Yeah, he doesn't have any way to stop the key, because he doesn't have his own Eddie available. Yep, that's game. Wow, what a game by Nope there. That was an impressive burst situation happening. You see all the cards in his deck. We didn't even see Punk. I don't think we saw Nature's Call. We saw 1 Glimmer, I think, but not 2. We didn't see Key Frog, so he's got a 2nd Key Cheat in this deck. Oh boy, that's a deck, and it has the word "just" in it, which, I'm mandatorily allowed to like. and approve of, given my screen name.